Cheers from King Street in Bristol. I'm Nicola and today I'm going to take you around some of the city's best pubs.
Bristol has no shortage of pubs, but some are more than just places for a pint. They're time capsules filled with centuries of stories. I'm Nicola and this is Carl, and today we're taking you to 5 fascinating pubs on Bristol's vibrant King Street. We chat with the locals and get stuck in.
That was a messy one. We're starting here on King Street in the Old Duke.
The pub's name is a reference to the classic American jazz musician Duke Ellington, and it's thought that he once performed here. The pub has actually held a similar name since it was built around 1775, when it most likely referred to the Duke of Cumberland. They serve a variety of well-known and independent drinks.
Cheers from the Old Duke.
It's a Grade 2 listed building, and the pub's heritage lies with traditional New Orleans-inspired jazz. You can watch live music every night of the week at the Old Duke. Jazz bands play here every Sunday afternoon.
Moving on. Never work with dogs, they say, yes.
Opposite the Old Duke is one of Bristol's most famous pubs, the Llandoger Trow.
Joined by John Hughes, and he's a local tour guide in Bristol, and his knowledge is second to none. John, well, first of all, how do I even pronounce Llandoger Trow?
Well, it should be Llandoger, because the pub's named after a village in the Wye Valley called Llandoger, so it's called Llandoger because of the stupid Bristol accent. So,
that's what I've got, the stupid Bristol accent.
And we all. So the pub's called Llandoger Trow because the first owner of the pub came from the Wye Valley in South Wales. That's why it's called Llandoger Trow.
Oh, I see.
And it's changed the name over the years because of the Bristol accent.
Yeah, and what's the brief history of the pub?
It was 5 gables, only 3 now, that went as far as Welsh back. All 5 are 5 shops that the owner bought from Llandoger, knocked them through and made into a pub. So this used to be 5 shops back in the day. 2 on the end were destroyed 1941 during the Second World War.
It features in one of your history walks.
I'm coming here 23 years with Haunted and Hidden Bristol, which is Bristol's longest running tour. We do on Fridays, doing many haunted buildings. I'm the first ghost walker in Bristol, the original one, and we go to about 8 haunted buildings. This is towards the end. We filmed it with Most Haunted 20 years ago because the top floor is very haunted. The middle gable is the haunted room. And the reason it's haunted is, years ago a family had this pub. Their young son had a metal plate on his foot because one leg was shorter than the other one. The boy died at a young age. They sold the pub. Years later, top floor, the chef had the room. He'd actually used to wake up and he had a scrape on the wooden floor and the boy crying. Every time we walk around the top floor wouldn't see anything, but it's the middle room that's the haunted room. So we cover this on the Haunted and Hidden tour every Friday night.
Oh wow. And how can people book onto your tour?
They can get me on my website, which is Haunted and Hidden Bristol, or by the brilliant website Yup, which supports local businesses. And I've got 4 tours on there: TV locations tour, and a music tour, and the Haunted and Hidden one on the website Yup, YUUP, which is a brilliant company in Clifton that supports local businesses.
Yeah, we actually took part, Carl and I, we joined a couple of John's other tours. We did the rock and roll tour. Do you want to tell everyone about that?
That comes past on a Sunday, once a month. That celebrates 60 years of music history in Bristol. The granary behind us, the Old Duke, Fleece, Louisiana, Bristol Beer Keller, history of bands in Bristol from when Massive Attack played here, all the way back as far as Frank Sinatra playing here in 1953. That runs on a Sunday at 2 o'clock, and that's on the Yup website as well.
Yeah. Are there any stories about pubs in this area around King Street that you find particularly interesting?
Well, the one behind us, the Old Duke, years ago, Robert Plant was playing the Granary in 1981 with Elkie Brooks. After the sound check, Robert Plant went in the Old Duke and he had a few drinks. He didn't want to go back to the gig, so they actually had to carry him out back and do the gig at the Granary. That was in 1981 when he was playing at the Granary. Also, Peter O'Toole, legendary actor, was a regular here, and he used to come here sometimes in the interval from the Old Vic, have a couple of shots, and then go back and finish the play at the Old Vic next door. So Peter O'Toole is a regular in this venue as well. It's the oldest jazz venue in Great Britain. It's been a music venue since April 1967, the Old Duke. A massive attack. On the first floor, we used to have a recording studio where Robert and Grant Marshall used to write new material up on the first floor of the Old Duke.
It's a fantastic pub with such a rich history. We like coming down on Sundays sometimes for their jazz afternoons. Do you ever pop along to those?
Midweek to come down. Eddie Martin does a jam session here. Eddie's a genius. But it's good now. They do have just jazz. There's a bit of everything, which is good. So music every night of the week, Saturday and Sunday afternoon. And of course, the music festival looming at the August bank holiday as well.
Yep. Are there any other pubs that you like to visit on King Street?
Renato, all the autograph pictures on the wall. The actors used to go in there. Met Jason Connery in there years ago, didn't interview with him, but Renato's is a great little pub on the right, and that was also featured in Only Fools and Horses. That was filmed in Renato's.
This summer has sort of been like the summer of 76, it's 2026, but for some reason we thought that we would film on the windiest day here in the centre of Bristol. Why not?
Exactly. Now, I remember 76 as well.
Yeah, I don't. What do you remember most about 76?
Well, gosh, brown grass everywhere, Montreal Olympics, England getting hammered by West Indies in cricket. Also, it was the year of the streak, I think. There was a lot of streakers going around in 76.
Oh, right.
Maybe remember the song by Ray Stevens called The Streak. So 76 was an iconic period. Also, another tour I do, the Sweeney is being filmed in 1976 with John Thaw. So if you watch the old episodes of Sweeney from that year, everything is brown, everybody's got flares on, sweating like a butcher's dog. You forget it's 50 years ago.
Yeah, 50 years ago. That's a great tour that you do as well. We've been along to that one, all the way to London to do it. Yes.
Back up there in 2 weeks. So, as you know, it's a long walk.
Yes.
3.5 hours. But we're now doing more Minder locations. So that one I've combined Minder and Sweeney together. So we cover both programmes from Hammersmith up to Notting Hill. And we finished now a new pub in Portobello Road that was featured in Minder in 79. So we finished there, and we get cheap drink deal there as well, which works out quite well by the market.
Yeah, it's brilliant fun.
Thank you.
Are there any stories that you'd like to talk about this street or any of the pubs in this area?
Another great story is the Old Vic around the corner, which is the oldest working theatre in Great Britain. I've been there 260 years. Paul McCartney was here 62 years ago, going out with the actress Jane Asher. And he used to take Jane Asher in the Llandoger behind us. One day she was late coming out. McCartney was sheltering outside the Old Vic. It was raining. He was soaked. So he went 2 doors up, wine merchants to shelter in the doorway out the rain. Got outside the wine merchants. The guy called him in, gave him a cup of coffee. Couldn't believe McCartney was in his shop. And he was in there for half an hour with McCartney chatting to him. And McCartney and his daughter had written a song for the Beatles called Daisy Dawkins, which he liked the song but didn't like the title. In the Wind of the Rain, the doorway sign said Rigby and Evans. He then changed the song to Eleanor Rigby. And if you get Paul McCartney's book on lyrics, there are 3 pages on that story being true. But that's where the tandoori is to be, next to the Old Vic.
Oh, wow.
Here's a quick peek inside the Llandoger Trow, but you can join me for a full tour in episode 1 of Bristol Pubs.
Moving on.
Further along the street is the King William Ale House. It's now operated by Samuel Smiths. As well as restoring the building, they also produce their own ciders and lagers and beers. This building is one of 3 houses that was built around 1670 on King Street, although the life of these buildings didn't start off as public houses. They were actually built as refuges for women. All three buildings are Grade 2 listed, and it's really easy to see why. So we have this one, the King William Ale House, a new bar called Hey Dude, and then our next stop on this pub crawl is the Royal Navy Volunteer. You can access the King William Ale House from Little King Street. Here is a little look around. Moving on. That was a messy one. Next is the Royal Navy Volunteer, which was built in 1673. They only showcase UK independent breweries, cider makers and spirit producers. There's a huge choice of 36 lines of rotating UK beers and ciders to enjoy, meaning no two visits are the same. Their friendly staff are happy to give recommendations and let you try samples, and the drinks are served as pints, halves or thirds. There are regular pub quiz nights and live music here. We decided to sit outside and enjoy the afternoon sun. Cheers from the famous Royal Navy Volunteer.
Cheers.
They serve a variety of independently brewed beers, ciders and spirits here. This is a bitter called Scallywag.
It's fondly nicknamed the Volley. I'll show you around now. Carl also filmed the gents.
Moving on.
We were feeling rather peckish, so we decided to grab a slice of pizza in Renato's. It used to be more of a traditional Italian restaurant, but after a brief period of closure, it reopened as a more casual dining experience, where you can grab a slice or whole pizza and enjoy something to drink. The walls are covered in old posters from Bristol Old Vic and other nearby theatres. I'll show you around now. It was reopened in 2023 by left-handed giants. This is the ground floor. The first floor is currently closed in August 2026 as it's undergoing refurbishment. However, when that part reopens, there will be 2 dining rooms serving Italian-American inspired food with a local twist. We both enjoyed a slice of pizza.
It was so nice, we decided to go for a second slice.
We decided to visit one more pub before heading home. However, there are plenty more to visit on King Street. Let me know your favourites in the comments, or if you'd like me to film one. You can also visit the Bristol Old Vic for a drink. You don't need to have a ticket to the theatre. We decided to go to King Street Brew House because they produce their own selection of beers on site. We bumped into someone famous on the way in.
Right, so basically you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel, yeah, because it's free, innit, yeah. You don't even have to get your wallet out or anything, because lucky, because I lost mine. So just press the subscribe button, yeah, and turn on notifications as well, because apparently that's a thing, so don't ask me why. Anyway, subscribe, go on, what else you got to do? Anyway, watch someone else's videos? No, what, that's a bit rude, innit? Yeah, subscribe, yeah, cheers, thanks.
Their microbrewery is the beating heart of the pub, pouring bold seasonal brews you won't find anywhere else. They also have a food menu which is packed with burgers, wings, loaded fries and sharing plates. If you enjoy watching live sport, then this is a popular venue. There are screens everywhere. They opened 10 years ago in 2016.
Cheers from the King Street Brew House.
Here's a small selection of what they had to offer, and we decided to go for their best bitter. I'll show you around now. It's a large venue and there's also different rooms available for private hire. Check out their website to book onto a brewery tour. I'll add the links to all the pubs we visited in today's pub guide, as well as a link to John Hughes' brilliant walking tour to my video description.
You can do a 1 hour tour here as well. You can do a 1 hour tour. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and check out my other videos on YouTube. Cheers.
Well, thanks for watching, yeah? Honestly, I don't know why you stayed to the end, but appreciate it. So, don't forget to like and subscribe, innit?